What's up, everybody? Welcome
up?
back again. We're here with another video for you to let you know what's going on in the Charlotte area. And today, we're talking about actually the biggest suburb in the Charlotte area.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? Like, literally, we just talked about this. Who would have thought? But this is none other than Concord, North Carolina.
Yes.
Now, this little beauty has over 100,000 people living there. So this is a big place, but also with good reason of why people move there, because you are only 20 minutes away from uptown Charlotte, right? And some of the things we definitely want to cover is the schooling, why should you live there, and all the good things you need to know about Concord. So let's do this.
Let's do it.
What's up? So Concord, North Carolina. What we want to start off with is, why should you potentially call Concord your home? Well, let's start by where you're located. You're literally just northeast of Charlotte, uptown, which is 20 minutes away. You can literally take I-85, which also takes you to I-485 if you're familiar with these highways, and that will literally take you anywhere within the Charlotte metro. If you're looking for a truly suburban type of lifestyle, Concord is definitely it, because it's not going to get you a whole bunch of urban stuff. Yes, they have a downtown which has a little bit of an urban feel, but it is small, doesn't have a ton to offer. So it's not necessarily the place where you want to go party and find a whole bunch of things to do that are very eclectic, right? It's more so box chain kind of scenarios when you want to go out to eat and stuff like that, with like strip malls, which they have a good amount, so you can find a good ton of shopping. If you are a NASCAR fan, you will absolutely love it because you are super close. Well, you are right by the racetrack, which is in Concord. So this is definitely your spot. So suburban feel, if that's not you and you want to have more of a city feel, Concord is not going to be for you.
Not at all. And let me back you up on that. Concord, to me, coming from someone who likes the city, it's super. It's not rural, like it's suburban country though, like for sure. Yeah. Like it's not rural by any means, but it's definitely suburban country. To me, it's a small, old school. And I know we said this about Kannapolis, but because they're so close. I mean, they kind of give off the same type of feel to it. It's an old kind of southern feel outside of that downtown area. Again, the downtown is cool, definitely walkable, you know what I'm saying, if you live close by there. I know they got some new apartment buildings over there, so I think it's got like Novi or Nova or something like that, right outside that downtown. So if you live there, that's nice. You can have a walkable area. You'll kind of get a different feel if you live inside the town or those back streets, things like that. Those back streets, it may have 1-2 street lights on them, right? No sidewalks down there. They're very tight rolling down there. So, but again, you're going out there for that style of living. So very slow pace, very quiet, very friendly. Now you do have a couple areas that's a little bit more rougher running in, but there is some development coming down that way too, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So there are a lot of things coming up. The vibe though, depending on where you are, is depending on what kind of perspective you go have with the Concord and that Kannapolis kind of area up north there. Now, let's get into some school systems and then we'll dive deep about these numbers around real estate in just 1 second.
In my opinion, why a lot of people call Concord home is because of the affordable pricing when it comes to living there. Real estate compared to rest of Charlotte is definitely more affordable because the average price of a home is about $367,000. In the Charlotte area, that is a good price, right? You can also find new construction with that as well, because there's a lot of development going on in the Concord area when it comes to townhomes, condos, and new construction single-family homes. A lot of builders are buying up lots and older homes and repurposing that for newer construction. So a bunch of housing coming your way in Concord, where I have to mention, most of the people own their homes. Almost 70% of all the population in Concord are homeowners, and only about 21% or so, some in the 20% are renters, which makes a lot of sense because the home ownership or the affordability is 21% lower than the national average. So if home ownership is something that you aspire to have as a first-time homeowner, second-time homeowner, or when you move to the Charlotte area, Concord should be on your radar.
Yes. And you're not seeing as many apartment buildings go up just yet too. You're actually seeing more, to me, and this is my perspective, more single families being developed or remodeled compared to, you know, when you in the Charlotte, when you actually in the city of Charlotte, more apartments going up.
You have
so,
more space
which is cool.
there too.
Yes,
right?
for sure.
And the zoning
for sure.
is more detailed towards single-family homes than
Yes.
apartments. You can find some apartments, right? Because obviously, you know, if somebody can put an apartment up, it can provide a lot more housing in one stroke.
Right.
But yes, single family is definitely more of the take up there.
Right. In the further north you go up, that's where we get into that more rural countryside of things too. So if you want some land or some space, Concord may be a thought for you guys when you're talking about just getting more space for that acreage or something like that. And you'll be a little bit more removed, but again, you can still get back to Charlotte in about 40 minutes or so, which is pretty cool. So,
and if that happens and you do choose, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I figured if you choose to want to have a little bit more land and be further north and a little bit more secluded even from the town of Concord.
Secluded is a great word,
Just keep in mind, a lot of places in that environment have septics and well water.
Yes.
So a lot of times you are not going to be plugged into city utilities. So keep that in mind. If that's something that you're okay with.
Great point. Because, I couldn't do the well. I like public connected myself. But either way, let's talk about some high schools. So we're going to have Concord High, obviously, but you also have Cox Mill too. Elementary schools, middle schools, you're going to have a plethora to choose from. As always, schooling is so subjective depending on, you know, your beliefs, whether you want to go Catholic or private or public. So a lot of that stuff, we just introduce you guys to them. We'll make sure you always do your own research about the schools in the area if that's something you guys would like to get into. All right. So again, we talked about it briefly earlier, but if you guys are looking for that crazy big nightlife, there's some cons to the Concord area for sure. So that's something that you guys really want to think about. You guys are a little bit more removed. So obviously put that on your radar, but weigh your pros to cons. If it comes to, you know, Kannapolis versus Concord, because I know that's probably a question you guys are thinking about. To me, I don't know about to Kevin, your perspective, but Kannapolis is moving a little bit quicker in that direction as far as development goes compared to Concord. Concord is going, if you guys want to get that land, again, like Kevin talked about, there's a lot of great options up there for you guys when it comes to the single family realm. So,
And I think schooling. Depends. If you have a family and you have kids in the school system, then Concord will probably be something you would want to prefer over Kannapolis.
Yes.
So that will be a big factor of why. If you want to be even closer to more availability of shopping, Concord would probably be a better option for you.
Now, a couple other things to put on your radar. Safety is going to be around a C+, right? Not bad. To me, it's nothing crazy up there. I mean, petty crimes, if anything, right? But it's just something, you know, when you do your research, niche.com, other places will have that as a C+ rating, right? One big con, though, is public transportation is not the best up there, right? You have to be mindful of that for you guys that's trying to come up to Charlotte and thinking about, hey, do I need a car? Yeah. Like, that's, even in Charlotte itself, like the public transportation, you're not going to get around on a dolly or trolley or the subway system here. It's just not going to happen, especially that far up north. Kevin, famous last words before we get out of here as always?
Yes. Thank you again for hanging out with us. We appreciate you as always. Hope you enjoyed this video. And if this speaks to you and Charlotte is calling your name, give us a call, shoot us an email. We'd love to help make this a reality. Until next time. Peace.
See you soon. See that ladybug fly on my face? That joke's crazy.
Yeah.